right, Analyzing Poetry, Part 2. We're going to start with the poem called The Eagle by Lord Alfred Tennyson. The first thing they want us to do is number the lines and then label the rhyme scheme. All right, so let's read it. The Eagle, Lord Alfred Tennyson. He clasps the crag with crooked hands, close to the sun in lonely lands. Ringed with the azure world he stands. The wrinkled sea beneath him crawls. He watches from his mountain walls, and like a thunderbolt, he falls. So first step, they want us to number the lines. Okay, that's simple enough. Add notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The second part, they want us to label the rhyme scheme. Remember, the rhyme scheme is, well, what rhymes? He clasps the crag with crooked hands. Hands, the first one we see, so A. Close to the sun in lonely lands. That rhymes with hands, so also A. Ringed with the azure world he stands. Stands rhymes with hands, so also A. The wrinkled sea beneath him crawls. Does not rhyme with hands, so we go to our next alphabet letter, B. He watches from his mountain walls. Walls, crawls, cool. And like a thunderbolt, he falls. Falls, walls, crawls. Boom. So our rhyme scheme is A, 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 B, B, B. Boom. Number 3, how does the end rhyme help you read the poem? Our end rhyme, we're not just talking about the word falls, but we're talking about the last word in each line. So he clasps the crag with crooked hands, close to the sun in lonely lands, ringed with the azure world he stands. The wrinkled sea beneath him crawls, he watches from his mountain walls, and like a thunderbolt, he falls. So how does the end rhyme help you read this poem? Well, it gives the poem a rhythm. So it gives rhythm. And it helps with the flow. So it makes it easier to read this poem. Because we have a rhyming scheme at the very end, we know where the pauses should go, probably at the end of each rhyme word. Number 4 says, what is the simile in the second stanza? And what does it explain about an eagle? Well, we know this right here, that's our first stanza, so stanza 1. So this right here is our second stanza. So what is the simile in the second stanza? Well, we know a simile compares two things using the words like or as. So the wrinkled sea beneath him crawls, he watches from his mountain walls, and like a thunderbolt, he falls. So the simile in the second stanza, boom, we're comparing, so eagle to thunderbolt. That's what we're comparing. Remember the eagle solely because that's the title of our poem. So that's what this poem is about. What does it explain about an eagle? Well, perhaps it explains how fast an eagle goes. So maybe the quickness of the eagle. Maybe how the eagle strikes when it's trying to catch its prey. Number 5 says, what imagery is used in the poem to paint a clear picture of what is happening? Well, they tell us it's close to the sun, it's ringed with azure world. Azure is blue. So he's giving us colors. So we can imagine a blue sky, sunny because the sun's out. We can imagine the sea. We know the wrinkled sea beneath him crawls. So the sea clashing against the mountains. Boom. and the eagle falling or flying, swooping down to strike, probably catching his prey. Sometimes when analyzing poetry, we compare and contrast a poem to a different poem. So what they want us to do is they want us to compare and contrast the tone and habits of the two animals in the poems above, using examples. So we know we're going to have the eagle from our poem The Eagle, a both section. And the animal in our second poem is called How Doth the Little Crocodile. So we're going to call him probably about a crocodile. So as I read the poem, try and think of things that the eagle and the crocodile have in common, what they have different, and what the poems have in common and different. So we have The Eagle by Lord Alfred Tennyson. He clasps the crag with crooked hands, close to the sun in lonely lands. Ringed with the azure world he stands. The wrinkled sea beneath him crawls, he watches from his mountain walls, and like a thunderbolt, he falls. We also have How Doth the Little Crocodile by Lewis Carroll. How doth the little crocodile improve his shining tail, and pour the waters of the Nile on every golden scale? How cheerfully he seems to grin, how neatly spreads his claws, and welcomes little fishes in with gently smiling jaws. So first step, we can find the rhyme scheme of both of these poems. We've already read The Eagle, so we know the rhyme scheme for The Eagle is A, B, B, B. We can also write it here. I'm going to make RS for rhyme scheme. A, B, B, B. How doth the little crocodile? So let's see. How doth the little crocodile, that's A, it ends, improve his shining tail? Tail does not rhyme, so that's B. And pour the waters of the Nile. Ooh, the Nile, crocodile. They rhyme, so that's A again. On every golden scale. Scale, tail, B. How cheerfully he seems to grin. C. How neatly spreads his claws. D. And welcomes little fishes in. Ooh, in rhymes with grin, so back to C. With gently smiling jaws. Jaws, claws, D. So the rhyme scheme for this one, RS, is A, B, but we also know it continues with C, D, C, D. Okay, so you've got that. But they want us to compare and contrast the tones and habits of the animals. Well, we know, based on both of these poems, that both of the animals, the eagle and the crocodile, are predators. So they are both predators. I'll use a different color actually. You can't even see that. They are both predators. We know because both poems are talking about catching prey. So both poems catch prey. In the eagle it says, he watches from his mountain walls and like a thunderbolt he falls. So he's like swooping down to go catch the mouse or whatever he's about to eat. The crocodile, it says, how cheerfully he seems to grin and neatly spreads his claws and welcomes little fishies in with gently smiling jaws. So both of these, the eagle and the crocodile, are getting their dinner for today. But we know, like a thunderbolt he falls, and he welcomes little fishes. Like a thunderbolt he falls is saying he's moving, so moving fast to catch his prey. On the other hand, the crocodile doesn't seem to be moving fast, does he? He's just like smiling and opening his mouth, and the fishy's just like swimming, not suspecting a thing. So he's resorting to trickery. Egads. He's tricking his unsuspecting victims. We also can say that the poem for the eagle can show a picture of like majesty and regal for the animal. So the animal is like above all, looking down like a king, picking out what he wants to eat. The crocodile poem is kind of funny. It has a rhyme scheme that makes you think it's going to be kind of funny. It's by Lewis Carroll. It's going to be something funny. And it shows how the crocodile is catching his prey by like welcoming them in first. This is not really what's intended. So the eagle, we can see, he's picking out what he wants to eat. The animal he's eaten, the organism, doesn't get a choice. He's just being eaten. The crocodile, he's saying, well, come on in, have some fun. Like, this is just a nice open space for you to swim in, and nothing bad's gonna happen. And then he eats the fish. So something bad did kind of happen. So on your worksheet, you're going to get 2 poems, and then you're going to have to analyze those poems and compare and contrast those poems. So let's see what you can do.